Goodness reflects the light, and evil bears the seed of all darkness. These are mirrors of the soul, reflections of the mind. Choose well. Hello everyone, Disthron here. We're going to be doing something just a little bit different this time. I've decided to do a PC game called Realms of the Haunting. Now I know a lot of you probably haven't heard of this game ever, but it is really, really awesome. This game holds a special place in my heart because not only is it the first game that I ever actually bought with my own money, but it's also one of the best games I've ever played. Personally, I think that it's a huge shame that almost nobody knows about this game, because I think that this really should be a game that everyone should remember, or at least heard of. It should be up there with like System Shock and the Ultima series. You know, it just should be one of those really famous games that everyone knows about because it was just so awesome.
My father died 6 months ago. Since he and my mother divorced, we'd had our problems. I hadn't seen him as often as I'd meant to. You know how it is. You think you've got all the time in the world to sort things out. There's always something else to be doing. You'll call him next week. Then the letter from the lawyers, and suddenly it's all too late. Nothing you can do. All the words you wanted to say, silenced forever. My father was the pastor at a Cornish village. He was well liked, had time for everyone, except his son. I can't explain it, but lately I've begun to dream about a house. Incredibly vivid dreams. I had other dreams at that time, too. Just as real, but not unpleasant. Quite the opposite. I was certain that I'd never met her, but that she really existed. Somewhere. Then the priest came to see me. He was the kind of person my father always disliked and mistrusted. I nearly shut the door in his face. But something stopped me. He said his name was Elias Camber. Apparently he and Dad met at a conference a couple of years ago and kept in touch, off and on, by letter. He told me the letters had become very agitated over the last few months. Father had discovered something about a strange house on the outskirts of the village. Something terrible. Then there were no more letters. Just a parcel a week before Dad died, with a covering note asking Camber to make sure I got it. Almost all of what Camber told me was a lie. There's no priest of that name in Cornwall. I checked. I ignored the whole thing for a while. Didn't want to think about it, I suppose. But the dreams have been getting worse. 2 days ago, I opened the parcel. Fragments of some carved objects. Some of the pieces are missing. I've looked in every reference book I can think of. I'm none the wiser for what they might be. I do know they're powerful. So here I am, at the house Camber spoke of, the house of my nightmares. I feel I've been brought here by something. I don't know what it is, or what it wants.
I think that when Gremlin published this game, they just didn't know what a classic game they had. Obviously, a lot of people were angry about full motion video because a lot of full motion video games were just horrible. This movie has a lot of full motion video, but yeah, I think they got it right. I think this is like the way they deal with full motion video in this game is the way that it should be dealt with. I mean, there are heaps of cutscenes throughout the game, but it's not jarring. It doesn't feel like you're being taken out of the game to watch a movie. It just feels like it's part of the game, and it just adds to the overall experience. And of course, the other major thing is that the cutscenes are actually worth watching. It's like they hired real actors and real directors, people who knew what they were doing, and more importantly, cared. I read somewhere that actors often consider a video game gig akin to doing a commercial for, like, I don't know, popcorn or something. So even games that have big name actors, you know, the FMV in them was still crappy because, I mean, you've got these actors who aren't taking it seriously, and you've got video game people who kind of don't know what they're doing, and now full motion video just has this nasty stigma attached to it. One of my mates was telling me, like, as we were talking about this, that people don't do full motion video just because it costs so much. And honestly, I don't think that's true. I think that people don't do full motion video anymore because of all the really bad stuff that was done in the 90s. And personally, I think that's kind of sad. I mean, nowadays we've got in-game cutscenes, which are really quite good. But I think sometimes it would still be nice to actually see real people. Well, it looks like this has turned into a rant about FMV. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment and rate my video. Next time, we'll have to get some actual gameplay in. See you later.